Watch the Giro d'Italia each and every day live and on demand on GCN+. The 8th stage, almost at the end of the first block of racing. The last road stage before a final time trial on day 9 ahead of the first rest day. Andreas Leknesson still in the pink jersey, but could Remco Evenepoel take it back from him on the day before he was to race against the clock? There'll be no Filippo Ganna out with COVID. Lars Vandenberg, the second non-starter of the day, as the rest warmed up on the rollers for an expected big start up the hill. 10 kilometres of unclassified climbing to begin today's stage. Stage 8, a 3-star stage, starting in Terni, heading to Fossombrone, taking on the mighty Muri Marchigiani, the wall stage, so often seen in Tirreno Adriatico in the Marche. In fact, this particular finish had been in Tirreno Adriatico, Alexei Lutsenko winning on a dramatic day 4 years previous to this appearance in the Giro d'Italia. 207 kilometres, a long day. And it was a frantic start. 80 kilometres roughly it took for a breakaway to go. 4 riders getting up the road, a 5th joining in, and after the intermediate sprint, plenty more riders would come across. 8 in fact. That intermediate sprint allowing Jonathan Milan just to extend his lead in the Maglia Ciclamino, only by a point or two. But hard work for everybody as the second part of the breakaway started to make contact with the first. There'll be one man to add to the list of the 13 eventually up the race. Oscar Riesebeck making a huge effort, joining Ben Healy and company up the road. Filippo Ganna, the Italian champion, was there, and behind DSM were confident of holding on to the Maglia Rosa. They were trying anyway. They'd calm things down and the break would be allowed to take the stage. Ben Healy, though, with 50 kilometres to go, attacking and leaving the rest of the breakaway behind. The first of 2 climbs up the Salita dei Cappuccini, a rare occasion in Italy where a cappuccino is allowed after 11 a.m. There were mechanical problems for Squinch, fighting behind. At least a falling out anyway between Mattia Bais and Filippo Ganna. In all reality, they wouldn't see Ben Healy again. On Grand Tour debut, he'd be riding away to the victory. But behind in the general classification group, things were also brewing. Jumbo-Visma working, Primož Roglič looking good. Other teams interested in trying to put Remco Evenepoel under pressure. And after Healy crested the final climb with more than 2 minutes of a gap, he'd be riding away to a stage win when Primož Roglič did indeed take off and attack. Evenepoel starting to look like he was fading. Thomas and Geoghegan Hart fighting hard to stay on the wheel of Primož Roglič over the top. And seconds would be brought back on Evenepoel at the end of the day. Ben Healy was having a party. The second youngest Grand Tour stage winner ever from Ireland. Healy just behind Sean Kelly. A new Irish cycling star born, and Ben Healy having the spring of his life. EF Education Easy Posts winning a Giro d'Italia stage for the 10th time in their history. A new name doing it. Strong rides too from Derek Chi, Filippo Ganna and Warren Barguil. They'd complete the top 4. All the way behind, Roglič was riding strongly. Ineos Grenadiers pairing of Geoghegan Hart and Thomas, also Grand Tour winners just like Roglič, would be out there trying to just increase the gap. And it'd be a 14-second gap to Evenepoel and company as they came over the line. And fighting behind, Andreas Leknesson just about staying in the Maglia Rosa. Evenepoel left to count the cost of a few seconds gone. Ben Healy celebrating away. Another step up from him as he hit the big time. Healy beating G by 1 minute and 49, the biggest winning margin on a Giro stage for 5 years. Andreas Leknesson making it 5 days in pink, but just an 8-second lead now over Remco Evenepoel in second place. Roglič taking those 14 seconds back and moving to 30 behind the Belgian world champion. Almeida 4th, Thomas 5th, Geoghegan Hart, Pache, Bantra, Vlasov, Caruso and Kemna now all in the top 10. Next up, a big test in the time trial. Favourite once again, Remco Evenepoel, but his rivals will know it's all about limiting the losses on a day after Evenepoel showed that little bit of weakness for the first time. 35 kilometres against the clock, leaving Savignano sul Rubicone. It's flat, It's for the specialist, 3-time checks along the way, finishing in Cesena at the Techno Gym Village. You better watch it, and each and every stage, every kilometre, live then on demand on GCN Plus at the Giro d'Italia.